What's up, gang? Right now we got support and resistance. Let's learn how to use it.
I swear none of you niggas is trading. None of you niggas is trading though.
Ace Banks, turn up.
I do not trap, nigga, I trade. I'm on my ass and still getting paid. I'm rich on these pips, nigga self-made. You was 30, put in pain. I'm hitting CP. That's every
Support and resistance. This is definitely, one of the first strategies that every new trader uses, right? When they first get into the game, first thing they're learning is support and resistance. If you do this right and understand it, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be making money on support and resistance trading. So let's break it down. All right, so I want you guys to pretend that we have a ceiling, right? We have a ceiling and we have the floor. Now, I want you guys to imagine that you are holding a ball, right? And you are strong as hell. You have like Hulk strength right now. And you just decide to throw the ball very hard on the floor. And when you do this, what happens when you throw a ball very hard on the floor? Ladies and gentlemen, it bounces up, right? Back to the ceiling. Now remember, we threw this ball very hard with Hulk strength, so it's gonna bounce back down to the floor, right? And now what we have is the ball just ricocheting through the floor and the ceiling. And it keeps going because you threw the ball very hard, right? Until it loses momentum, right? Or in some cases, it'll just break through the ceiling, right? So in this example, the ceiling would obviously be resistance, and the floor would be, you guessed it, support. Now, guys, the reason why we trade using support and resistance is because one, support and resistance is everywhere in the market, right? And we are trading based off of supply and demand. So everybody forgets this rule when we start trading Forex. What we are trying to do, what we're trading in the first place, we are trading to buy low and sell high. So let me write that down for you guys. We are buying low and selling high. Okay? All we have to do is buy when the banks do and sell when the banks do through these support and resistance areas. So the banks are moving money at all these support and resistance areas. Maybe there's 20 mil right here, right? And then we got another 20 mil right here. They're moving 20 mil, and then every time we get back up here to the resistance zone, they're selling another 17 mil. Okay, we know this. This is just how the banks are trading, right? 17 mil up here. Okay, so what do we know? We know that the banks are buying at these areas, right? And we know that they are selling at these areas. Not only just the banks, institutions, independent traders like us, we're all buying and selling at these areas. So that's why support and resistance works. We trade with the people who are buying and selling at key areas in the market. Now, another thing, when we're trading, we are always looking to our left. Why? Because we trade based on past history. We trade based on chart history. We trade based on chart history. So what does this mean? That means if we see that, okay, once price came up here and shot up because we buy low, right? And then twice it came back down here and shot up because we buy low and banks are also buying at that point too, then we should guess, well, next time when price comes down here, I'm buying. Simple as that. Okay, guys, so we should know that when we come back to this area over here, that we need to be looking for buys. Why? Because we buy low and we sell high, right? So we're practicing that. Also, we know that the banks have been placing trades here for the last 2 trades that's been over here, right? I mean, every time price comes down here, price is shooting up. So that's why we would be looking for a buy here, because we've seen in the past, buys has been over here. A lot of buyers, okay? Same thing with the sell. When we get all the way up here, we should be looking for sells because we know in the past there have been a lot of sellers. Simple and easy money, right? So we can either be selling at this resistance area or buying at this support. When price comes back to the support area after hitting the resistance, then you should be looking for buys. Again, to catch the buy that happened for the last 3 times when price came to this area, right? Also, let's say that we're over here. Let's say that we're in the middle, right? Let's say that we are in this trade right here, this sell, right? After this, we have to know that price is probably going to come and retest the support area again. Why? Because that's what it did last time. Simple. So this is support and resistance. As you can see, if you would have took buys right here, right here, right here, and right here, you would have made money. If you would have took sells right here, a sell right here, and a sell up here, you would have made money. All right. If you decided to sell right here, you would have lost some money. And that's okay. You know, you're not going to win everyone, but you won most of them and only lost one. So that's pretty great off of support and resistance trading. Now, right here, you can see that price broke through our ceiling or resistance, right? When this happens, we typically want to wait for a retest, right? So this is the retest. That's what that would look like. And it will bounce up and find our new ceiling, right? Or resistance. So this that was our resistance is now our support. It is now our support. So you would have bought right here, right? You would have bought right there because that is the support, and we buy at support and we buy low and sell high, right? I'll show you guys an example if it was to break on the other side. Let's say that it came back down here, right? And this time it broke through our support. We test and sell, right? We will be looking for our sell on the retest, right? Looking for our sell on the retest so we don't have to go through any drawdown. Okay, so this is how you should be trading support and resistance, buying and selling, right? So this support would now be our new resistance. So I'm going to show you guys an example of this right now in the candlesticks. So right here, I'm going to mark up my support. So right here, we mark up the support by noting where price shoots up, right? On these low points over here, on these wicks. If you don't know what a wick is, it is a long line at the end of the candles, right? Or yellow, okay. So that's my support. And my resistance I found over here. Every time price got up at this area, it started to drop. You can see if we zoom in, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, price has fallen every time it has hit in that area. So that's how I found my support and resistance, and that's how I knew where to buy and sell, right? Because every time price hit this area that I made right here, price went up, so I knew to buy because we're buying low and we're buying with everybody else, right? And we're selling with everybody else as well, right? On the resistance. So that's how I knew where to sell. Again, we trade based on past history, 1, 2, 3 times. After me seeing it, go down at the same place, especially 3 times, I'm looking for the sell. Next time it comes up here, I'm definitely selling. And like I said, if it happened once, right? If you see it hit resistance and come back to support, all the way down to support, you should know next time it hits resistance, it's probably going to come and go retest all the way back to support. And it did exactly the same thing. So like I said, you guys will know exactly when to take your trades and how long you guys can hold them. All right, so let's extend our support here because we see that price breaks through our support right here. And when this happens, it's what we need to see. We need to see price come back up, retest, and then drop down, right? But it didn't really do that. It started acting funny, came back up, shot back down, and then kind of found some support here again. See if we can mark that up. Found another little support here. Came back up here, broke through our previous support. It started riding its wave, and now went all the way back to the resistance area. Okay, so that's why we need to see that retest, because if you got in for the sell too early and you didn't wait for the retest, you would have lost money. So right here was a little bit of market manipulation because you did not wait for that retest point for the sell, right? So right here, price hit that little support, shot back up to our previous resistance up here, and now it broke. It broke. So what do I want to see from here? I want to see price come back down here, and then I would take my buy somewhere at this area that would now be our support. Okay. It's not always as pretty and sexy as I drew it, but this is the same thing. Sometimes the market likes to trick you to see if you'll bite, but be careful, y'all, and wait for that retest because it's always gonna come. So this is how you trade support and resistance, y'all. I know there's a lot on my chart right now. If you need to watch it, a couple times, definitely do so and get this down packed, because as a beginner, this is how you're gonna be able to make easy money in the markets. Easy money if you get this down packed, y'all. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more value. I'm going to be coming in with trend lines next. Let's get it, y'all.
I do not trap, nigga, I trade. I'm on my ass and still getting paid. I'm rich on these pips, nigga self-made. You was 30, put in pain. I'm hitting TP.